against just reshuffling. And that goes to show the mentality of most African leaders. So instead of actually fixing the problem, or even moving away, what they're doing is reshuffle, the army, the military, just to ensure that they protect themselves while in office. They protect themselves and continue to stay in office. How do you explain that a 90-year-old man would stay in office and want to continue to stay? Does he want to stay there till he becomes clocks a century old? You wonder what it is that is wrong with African leaders. In Ivory Coast, the situation is similar. Alassane Ouattara, been there, and is trying to reconfigure the constitution. Now, AU has sanctioned or suspended Gabon, just the same way they suspended, Guinea, suspended Mali, Niger Republic, all of them when the coups happened. At the end of the day, if these coups continue, who would remain a member of the AU? If sanctioning is what you're doing, as against actually standing up to those who are reconfiguring or manipulating their constitutions to sit them and keep them in office. It goes a long way to speak about how African leaders do not really care about democracy. Because if you care about democracy, you care about the will of the people. Because democracy, in its simplest form, is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And if a coup happens in a country and the people are celebrating, it goes to say that the people are not happy with the quote-unquote now civilian government. We cannot good governance by civilian rulers or civilian leaders. Good governance protects the interest and human rights of citizens. That is really what we should be talking about. Join the conversation. 090-7353-0044, 090-8766-8888. It's a good thing that we have the army restating their loyalty, and saying that there won't be any coups in the country. The GOC 81 division saying that if you're not comfortable with the leadership, the civilian rule, then you should leave the army. It's quite an interesting thing to hear. I'd love to get your perspectives on these. 090-7353-0044. Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning, Olajide.
Not Olajide, Abubakar from
Abubakar, good to have you. Sorry about that. I must gonna get you.
No problem.
Welcome.
With the wave of coup spreading across Africa, we have long reign of dictatorship, occupying power for several decades, and you can't continue oppressing people forever. You can't continue to keep people in bondage. There must be resistance. Human emotion must resist oppression, injustice. You can perpetrate injustice for a certain time, but when emotionally people will act, what is the benefit of exploitative democracy, oppressing underdeveloping people, keeping people in chronic poverty? People are not enjoying better life, and you profess democracy. What is the essence of that democracy? So, out of frustration, African citizens are welcoming military juicers in their countries. The way out of it is not retiring army generals in the military, because if you can remember what happened in Nigeria when a Sergeant Doe staged a coup. In Tunisia, it was the jobless youth carrying grocery that sparked up Arab Spring. In Sri Lanka, it is the defenseless citizens that invaded the presidential palace and drove the incompetent president away. So it will continue like that until the dictator sit up, and they should be respecting the popular will of the people. Let the voting right of people manifest. Let people decide whoever they want to choose. That is the only way out.
All right.
Thank you. God bless
Thank you very much, Abubakar. The people decide. Well, I love to get your perspectives on this. Everyone has a feeling and everyone believes what they believe. I love to hear them. And we exchange these ideas. It's going to be a pretty good.
Hello?
Hello, good morning, Okichuku.
Yeah, Nata, good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome.
And you see, why all this thing is happening in Africa is because that the politicians have changed to do what they're supposed to do. You understand? If you are doing the right thing, I bet you the citizen will go against the ministry. Even if they have any issue, you see the citizen protesting that they do not need ministry. What they need is democracy. In Africa, now, which country you will tell me that they are practicing democracy? You come out to protest, they will kill you. If the politicians are doing what is not right, the only way for the citizen to tell them that they should respect their right, their thing, is for the citizen to come out and protest. So when you come out and protest, the next thing, you are gone. So, out of frustration, look at hunger everywhere. You're a politician, you cannot provide food for your citizens. Honestly, the frustration will make you will do whatever you don't want to do. So I'm just advising the leaders, those that are attacking their military, shoving it will not solve the problem. If it is not out of greed, why can't you do the right thing? Everybody know what is good. If you are ruling people, please obey your court. Obey the constitution of the country. So that people will, in case if anything happens, you will see people that will support you. But when the law give orders, they will refuse. When this one happens, they will refuse. You protest. You do this problem. So people are tired of this kind of regime. So that's why they are supporting the ministry.
Thank you very much.
So please, the leadership is the right thing. That's what we are telling them.
Thank you so much, Okichuku. Again, Nigerians at all levels seem to be calling on their leaders to do the right thing, do the right thing, do the right thing. But do we also do the right thing? When someone who's your brother, let's say for instance, your brother is involved in a crime. Say for instance, you know that your brother is a thief. How many times have you ever reported, or would you go ahead to report your brother to the authorities and say, look, this brother of mine has been involved in armed robbery. I know for sure. I've seen these things. Would you do that?
Hello,
good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Prince Ike.
Prince Yanacha. Yeah. In fact, if we are talking about the menace that have been coming out from leadership red organization in Africa, we'll be talking it to the next 100 years. They will change. I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but I'm trying to be optimistic. Because this issue of bad leadership that are making us not to be happy in Africa is started from our colonial masters. They put their house in order while they are scattering the houses of Africans. Like American that got her independence in 1776, they were able to change the plan, the constitution, the heritage, the language they inherited from their colonial master, being British or Britain. Can't we do ourselves like that? Can't Africans change the languages of this betrayal of the colonial masters, so that we have our own language, we have our culture, we have our own constitution. So all these things that have been going on, imagine somebody will be gambling and wobbling to become president or head of state or Senate president or senator or governor in his state or his country. But he doesn't want to leave the office. They do something right. It's impossible. Inclusive government, responsive government, responsible government is, in fact, can I count one? Can I count two? Those of us who study political science and history, if I start narrating things to you, in fact, I would not like to leave, but because of time, I'm going to withdraw my statement so far. Let African leaders learn the lesson. If you are doing well, remember people will praise you. Remember, posterity can never forget you. If you are doing something well by bringing people to you, salvaging the situation, do you see hunger? Did you see poor leadership? Did you see what you call, escalation of pump price? Did you see what you call, electrical supply in this country? Why we are the sixth most oil producing state in the whole world? But would you supposed to work in a country on this injustice going on? Are you hearing me? Please, I don't want to talk so much so that other people will come. God will bless the people. When we will change, then the society is going to be changed. If you continue in this manner, who knows who else that, junta, dictatorship will now meet? Look at Cameroon there. For almost 60 years, somebody has it. Is there the only one who know how to rule? Is there the only one who are professional? Is there the only one who have the competence to clean at the helm of affairs? What we are doing to ourselves is that. Let us change for good. Thank you. I have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, Prince Ike. The conversation continues. Keep those calls coming 09073530044. And this conversation about how, Europe underdeveloped Africa and all, somehow I'm thinking, look, right now, how many years has it been since most of these African countries gained independence? Do the people not have minds? Do they not have brains? Do they not think? All right. We've seen a situation where, the West, yes, we've seen, sometimes even kill leaders that are, pro-developing their nations and all. But isn't it time for the African continent as one to come together as a block, as a whole, to fix their continent? Look, there are countries that are doing well in Africa and would not even allow Nigerians, even the Nigerians, Nigeria is called the giant of Africa. They can't even near. What is Egypt doing? What is Morocco? What are they doing? Those countries have become tourist attraction sites. They've become, industrialists in their rights. They've really developed, given their people a good life. What are they doing? What is happening in North Africa that the rest of Africa cannot do? Recall the Arab Spring. Could have been, maybe that's what's, really shook their minds to begin to act right and fix their countries. And that's why people are saying the coups in Africa, in this part of Africa, is some kind of revolution. Who knows? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Prince Amateur.
Good morning, Clementine Prince.
Thank you. Let me just answer from a personal perspective that question you asked, whether any of us will say the right thing if our brother is involved in corruption and whatever. What I want to say, what I've been keeping in mind, is the advice of people like Edal Noja, whom I respect very much, is that there was a man I spotted around the first gate in Dusi some time ago, and his name is Ishama. I want to warn Abuja residents that guy is dangerous. Why do I say that? He was a sergeant in 1993 in the Criminal Intelligence Bureau attached to Ekpoma Police Station, and I was a corporal under him, the same CIB. I realized that at that time, the divisional police officer of that police station was involved in armed robbery, using this Ishama and one other sergeant and as well as some civilian collaborators. They were robbing Ekpoma and environs. They killed some people. They killed one Edward, who was also in the CIB with us, who was a sociology student in that university. They robbed up to number 10 Secretariat Road. Anybody who knows Auchi, go to number Secretariat Road, number 10, and ask whether there's any Dr. Philip Campbell. They stormed his house, robbed him, and took away his Mazda. I was in the CIB. I knew what was going on. So I and two other colleagues, one Corporal Luce Kata and one PC, Eric Omadbami, who were also in the CID with me. Eric was an engineering student in the University of Ekpoma. So Luis was a sociology student in the university. I was in the law faculty. Three of us now decided that we have to cry out because we saw what was going on. It was getting deadlier and deadlier. You know what we did? We wrote a petition to the Commissioner of Police, one Simeon Udoye, who was a CP. I think he later became a senator after he retired from the police and died. We wrote to him and said, look what is going on in Ekpoma, in our environment. Our office was to write reports to headquarters in Benin Command, anything that we see, because that our own office is the headquarters was in Benin Command. But in each division, you see CIB attached to the division. We are police officers. So we wrote. The police went into investigation haphazardly. They say, oh, the report against the DPO is so any of that. They got some evidence, but they covered him up. The report I'm talking about, I have it in my house as I'm talking. That the report is so heavy against DPO, they are doing it piecemeal. That was the end of the investigation. And when we wrote, we copied the force headquarters in Lagos. That's Obalending. We copied the DIG Finance and Admin. But before anybody could take further actions, three of us were disbanded from the CIB in Ekpoma. We were all students in the university there. I was posted to Uromi, Luis to Ojiaja, Eric to Irwa. Far from Ekpoma, where we were schooling. What will you do? Why were we on transfer? Three of us were tried in absentia of the room trial for this, for discreditable conduct, and we were all dismissed since 1993. My brother, it has been a tug of war. I battled this thing every day on the road. I battled it since 1993 to 2016. I was battling it until I got rescued by the Police Service Commission. I had a report of the Police Service Commission that our evidence is that our petition was true. They gave the man, then the DPO had been given soft landing. After this thing, after the suicide, what they did, they continued with their nefarious activities, and we kept on monitoring it. They thought they had accepted our education, they have accepted our work. And we kept on monitoring.
This was in 2016.
I was reinstated in 2016, and I was restored with some of my ranks. I was going to be a deputy. I was going to return like as a deputy commissioner, but they didn't give me all my ranks. Even city, they didn't give me all my ranks. But at least I got back something. But I'm telling you something. The prayer in absentia was wrong. Then after which they continue with their nefarious activities. The man that they used to replace me in the CID since they had left was one Corporal Joseph Alwede. Do you know that in one of their nefarious activities again, this same sergeant I told you I was spotted in Abuja here, killed that Joseph Alwede. He's late now. A corporal who was used to replace me in the CID. So we monitored all these things. Then what happened? The sergeant that was the collaborator with this Shama, working for the DPO, was the one who was dispatched to go and storm the house of Dr. Philip Campbell in number 10 Secretariat Road.
Was he wearing adorning the police uniform? Was he? What was going on? Why do you still think that he may have continued in that line of business?
He absconded with his kids, the uniform, because they didn't arrest him before he ran away from Ekpoma. So whether if he wears it now, he's wearing it illegally because he's already declared wanted. But how long the police will keep on wanting him is what I cannot tell. But he must have absconded with his uniform and all his kids. If he's hearing me now, if he's listening to this radio, Abuja will be hot for him now. That is what happened. So
is he still on the wanted list of the Nigerian police?
Probably or in any way. He will remain wanted because he's a murderer. He killed Joseph, know that he will be thinking of also running away from this environment too. I don't know.
So
because he's wanted.
This is to say that even when Nigerians try to...
I battled this in it almost affected my school program. I battled actually, not all my ranks. My other colleagues, the Luis and Eric, I also had to begin to fight for them to be reinstated. They always have their own, but they have needed my own. If you see the unjust, if I am promoted, they are not promoted. So that's where that is. I said, well, I feel fine. That if I find myself in the same world, in the same situation,
going by your...
we should keep silent on this kind of things. I said, we should keep silent on this kind of things. I said, George Yamu and the anime saga was a public issue. Was Yamu not he was a DSP. And for information, in that anime saga, I was in, but I didn't celebrate it. But today we are hearing different things. So this kind of things will always be there in the force. But the force is still a very good one. If I come to the world again, if not that Christ said, I still go through all the hell because the job is fine. It's a reformist organization where you prosecute crimes and protect the lives and properties of the citizens, including your own. You have wife, you have children, you have to also protect them. So, but that you want to run a report. There are good people in the police who will take up that kind of report. I passed through one Super Chima from Onitsha, and he protected me. And that Chima, why are you shouting? Chima was and there are also bad people everywhere. Humanity, the ways of men. Well, normally you can write if you have a good fellow who is aware what you are doing. He can cover up the issue, but there is a time when you have to also come out. If the matter has to be prosecuted, so if the judiciary is also clement enough to say, okay, Nigeria is a complex society because individuals, people are different. Even in the judiciary, just everywhere, my brother, the society is bad. It's bad. So we pray God to take care to thank you. God bless you, sir.
We're going to be talking more some in the days to come. I really, why Nigerians would not even come forward to report issues that they see and know. We all the time would tell people, oh, see something, say something. I recall a situation where I was having a conversation with a kidnapped victim. I interviewed this kidnapped victim, and he opened up to say, look, when we were kidnapped, our parents were told not to go to the police when the kidnappers called the families. They told him not to go to the police. And when his father eventually went to the police, they had taken them to I think Nasarawa State or so. And his parents went to the police in Jos. And the kidnappers knew. And they started to beat him and say, we told your parents not to go to the police. And they called his father and said, we told you not to go to the police and you went to the police. How did they know? How did they know? They went to the police in Jos. They were kidnapped along Akwanga Road or something. Taken into the forest in Nasarawa State. The system we have in place. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome. Bushman, welcome. Good to have you, my elder.
Thank you very much. You are doing very well.
Thank you.
So the other time, before I comment on the revelation of Brother Clement, the other time he was celebrating his birthday, I tried, I couldn't get him. So I want to wish you happy many more years in advance.
Yes, so
You know, I always like a security men. They even wish they can have. And in fact, every other commentator in this very platform, I commend them. I love them. So yeah, you people are doing it fantastically well. So maybe tomorrow, the time I want to comment that morning, your line is very, very beautiful. But I'll continue to try.
Please keep trying. Keep trying.
So the other time I was telling you if you can give my number to Elder Onoja, but I never know his rank. So like Brother Clement Zionko, is that the correct name?
Yes, Clement Zion Prince.
I know him very well. He had his deputy who are identified as a security, other army civilian who are calling here in this very platform. I raise my hand for them.
Thank you,
As an elderly man, I wish them that they could do better. Retiring general cannot even help anybody, but you do the right thing. Good morning, Isaiah.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Elder Bushman. I'd love to call you that. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. You see, we're building a very fantastic, beautiful family here, and I'm just loving it. So, Fields from Kagarko, Kaduna says, whoa, Fortune Fields from Kagarko in Kaduna, you say, good morning, Prince. Africa as a whole still have a very long way to go. Imagine with all the wealth and natural resources God blessed us with, but still living in abject poverty. Greed, I would say, yes, greed had brought us to where we are today. If only our leaders and the citizens will change our minds and learn to be contented with what we have, then Africa will be great. Fortune Fields, thank you very much for your message. We wrap up the conversation shortly, but I'm going to try as much as I can to take up all of these messages. It's a Friday morning, and you know what we do on Fridays like this. We keep it as simple as possible and have your thoughts in and just rub minds as one people. Happy new divine favor shall be your portion this month. You say in Jesus' name. Thank you very much. I appreciate you and that message. Thank you very much. Okay, 09073530044 and 09087668888 are the numbers to call. You want to send me a message? Make that to 09097054450. I've got to go shortly. Now, Abdullahi Mekano says, good morning, sir. Sacking the high-ranking military officers would never end military coups in Africa. Africans are liberating themselves from the hands of neocolonialism in the form of democracy. Really bad. You say, I really appreciate my elder Clement Zion Prince. Thank you for your own professionalism, sir. Thank you very much, Abdullahi Mekano, and big commendations going out to Clement Zion Prince. Thank you for remaining, resolute and in fighting that cause. Thank you very much. It is Nigerians like you that we need some more. No one is saying anyone needs to be a saint. We're just saying in your rights, in your little corner, be able to contribute your widow's mite or your bit, just something small to ensure that this country is better. Just do whatever it is, no matter how small, to ensure that this country is a better place. That's all that's required of us. Do the right thing. If you see something that protect yourself, also make an effort. Make an effort to correct it. Make an effort to correct it. Not everyone is going to